Okay, picture this. You step outside, you hear that super familiar caw-caw echoing through the trees, and you probably don't even blink, right? I mean, most of us just completely brush it off as standard neighborhood background noise. But what if I told you that noise isn't just random squawking? What if it's actually a highly sophisticated, structured conversation? In this explainer, we are diving deep into some truly groundbreaking research that has finally decoded what these birds are actually saying to each other. And I'm just going to warn you right now, the secret behind that everyday ordinary caw is absolutely shocking, because it turns out they are definitely not just talking about the weather, they're talking about us.
Wait, what? Are the crows in your neighborhood talking about you specifically? The short answer is, yeah, probably. Researchers have actually been feeding thousands of hours of crow recordings into advanced AI systems to figure out what the heck is going on up there in the branches. And what the AI discovered actually blew my mind. This isn't just random chirping. They possess a highly structured language. We're talking specific calls for different types of predators, different kinds of food, and yes, even specific identifiers for individual humans. They even gather around their dead to hold what literally look like funerals so they can analyze threats together. They are paying incredibly close attention to us. Honestly, they've been studying us way more than we've been studying them.
And this completely shatters the whole bird brain myth. You know how we've used bird brain as an insult for like centuries? We just assumed these animals couldn't handle complex thoughts. Well, modern biology says we need to retire that phrase immediately. It turns out crows have a specialized sector in their brain uniquely dedicated to complex memory and facial recognition. Hold on, just let that sink in for a second. When a crow looks at you, they don't just see a generic, blurry human walking by. They see you. They memorize your exact facial features and map them to whatever experiences they've had with you. It's a level of intelligence that legitimately puts them on par with some of the smartest primates. I mean, these are birds that use tools and solve complex multi-step puzzles.
To really prove just how sharp this memory is, let me tell you about this wild, famous university experiment. So, step 1. Researchers put on these terrifying, highly specific rubber masks, think like a scary, exaggerated caveman face, and went out to trap and put little tracking bands on a group of crows. Step 2. They released the crows, totally, completely unharmed. Now, step 3. Those same researchers walk around the campus with no mask on or wearing a totally different normal mask. And the crows? They couldn't care less, just completely ignored them. But step 4, and this is where it gets crazy. Whenever anyone walked onto that campus wearing that specific scary caveman mask, the crows instantly started screaming, swooping down, and attacking. They perfectly memorized the face of the human who wronged them, holding onto that grudge with terrifying intensity.
But here is the most crucial data point of that entire study. 0. Literally 0. That is the exact number of the younger generation crows that had actually been trapped by those researchers. Fast forward a few years into the experiment, right? The original crows have had babies, those babies grew up, started flying around the campus, and the researchers walked out wearing that scary mask again. Even though exactly 0 of those younger birds had ever been trapped or touched or even looked at funny by the mask wearer, they viciously attacked the mask just like their parents did. So how on earth did they know?
Well, this timeline brilliantly illustrates exactly how they knew. In year 1, the original crows get trapped. By year 3, the offspring are born. And by year 5, this brand new generation is out there dive-bombing the mask. This absolutely proves that crows don't just rely on hardwired instinct. They actively educate their offspring. They are literally sitting up in their nests, essentially telling their kids, "Hey, listen to me. See that guy with the weird caveman face? He is bad news. If you see him, you scream and you attack." They are passing down a multi-generational grudge. In fact, some records show these exact grudges lasting for up to 17 years. They possess a genuine social culture of teaching, learning, and never, ever forgetting their enemies.
Which naturally brings us to a question that might be making you feel a little uneasy right about now. Why are they so incredibly obsessed with watching us? I mean, with all that massive brainpower, why are humans the absolute center of a crow's daily survival strategy? Well, to figure that out, we really have to look at how they live. Crows have completely adapted to live right alongside us, in our cities, our towns, our suburbs. So for them, paying attention to what we do isn't just some fun little hobby. It is the absolute core of their existence. We are the biggest, loudest, and frankly most important variable in their entire environment.
You see, we actually play a massive dual role in a crow's life. On one hand, humans are the ultimate providers. We leave out trash bags, we drop French fries in grocery store parking lots, we grow massive fields of delicious crops. To a crow, we are basically giant walking vending machines.
But on the flip side, humans are also their absolute biggest physical threat. We chase them away from our gardens, we cut down the trees they sleep in, we destroy their nests. Because we represent both their absolute greatest reward and their greatest possible danger, identifying exactly which individual human is walking down the street at any given moment is literally a matter of life or death for them.
And this is where things get straight up sci-fi. I want to introduce you to a concept I like to call the invisible crow internet. It is this completely unseen, citywide communication network. You can think of every single bird acting like an active Wi-Fi router, just constantly scanning the city from the sky. When one crow spots a threat, say some human who threw a rock at them last Tuesday, they don't just keep that information to themselves. Oh no, they sound a very specific alarm call. The next crow hears it and repeats it, instantly passing that data packet to the next neighborhood and the next and the next.
These warnings spread so fast, it is almost exactly like a viral social media post. If you wrong a crow on the east side of town, that warning goes viral across their entire network almost instantly. By the time you get in your car and drive all the way to the west side of town to grab a coffee, the crows over there already know what your face looks like. They know you're a threat before you even step foot out of your vehicle. They have built this highly robust, dynamic social framework that is constantly monitoring the city. You literally cannot outrun the invisible crow internet.
Okay, I know what you're thinking right now. The birds are watching me. They're sharing my face online. I need to wear a disguise to get my mail. It sounds completely unnerving, but take a deep breath because it's not all bad news. Let's pivot away from their slightly terrifying surveillance capabilities for a second, because there is an incredibly beautiful, totally heartwarming side to crow behavior that is honestly just as astonishing as their grudge holding. Because remember, they don't just track their enemies, they also track their friends.
If you show them a little kindness, right? If you consistently leave out some fresh water or maybe a little handful of unsalted peanuts, they absolutely notice, and they perfectly remember the specific people who feed them. Instead of swooping or yelling, they'll start to hover nearby with this quiet, almost respectful hope. They will literally start waiting for you on your balcony or your fence every single morning. They actually form these deep, almost pet-like bonds with humans that challenge everything we thought we understood about wild animals. It shows a profound level of emotional intelligence, softness, and real social connection that goes way, way beyond mere survival.
And here is absolutely the coolest part. When a crow considers you a true friend, they don't just hang around looking cute. They actually bring you presents. I am entirely serious. People who regularly feed crows consistently report receiving bizarre, highly specific gifts. A little piece of shiny foil, a beautifully smooth specific stone, old coins, or colorful little scraps of cloth. They will fly into your yard and intentionally leave these treasures right where you'll find them. It's essentially a silent treaty of friendship and gratitude. To them, these items are incredibly valuable, and offering them to you is their very own unique way of saying thank you. It is genuinely so touching.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, slightly mind-bending thought. The next time you walk outside, who is really watching who? We walk through our cities every day totally convinced that we are the main characters, completely ignoring the wildlife all around us. But up in the branches, there is an incredibly intelligent, highly connected society of birds that are actively observing you, learning your specific habits, and maybe, just maybe, even talking about you right now. It completely changes how you see the world right in your own backyard, doesn't it? So keep your eyes open, maybe leave out a peanut or two, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.